Hello, Gems. My name is Bushnell. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stay long enough to subscribe. I talk about femininity, personal development, and mindset. If you're already part of the tribe, welcome back. I live next to a forest, and whenever I turn on the lights, the posh lights, insects just seem to rush to the light. The thing is, they can't help it. They're attracted to that light. And I was thinking, do human beings also have this effect? That when their presence is there in a certain room, in a certain space, that people can't help it but just get drawn to this person. And I think so. Actually, scratch that. I believe so. So let's talk about how you can become irresistibly magnetic. This is the part where you get comfortable, get a pen and a paper for sure, and let's talk about this. Okay, so point number 1 is have a gentle and quiet spirit. And this comes from 1 Peter 3:3-4, and I'm gonna read it. Your adornment must not be merely external with interweaving and elaborate knotting of the hair and wearing gold jewelry or being superficially preoccupied with dressing in expensive clothes, but let it be the inner beauty of the hidden person of the heart, with imperishable quality and unfading charm of a gentle and peaceful spirit, one that is calm and self-controlled, not overly anxious but serene and spiritually mature, which is very precious in the sight of God. So this verse was meant for women who are, wait for it, married to non-believers men. What Peter is saying in this portion of scripture is that there's a way that you can behave that will draw even this non-believer men to the Lord, that will draw this non-believer men to you. It was just so profound that there's a way that you can behave that non-believers will just won't help it but be drawn to you. What more of it believers if it's that powerful to draw non-believers? And just being in a season where I have been told to be more gentle with people and extend grace to people, especially in the ministry I serve in church, where people have been testing my patience. The Lord knows. Okay, so what this whole idea is, and I'm still even trying to wrap my mind around it, but what we're getting from the verses is being calm. A calm person is very attractive. I have met a calm person myself, and if I tell you that I did my best to find out what drugs that person was on, I did my best to try and find out what drugs that person was on, because he was so calm. It was top tier. So being calm, being relaxed, being able to control yourself, here it has a lot of self-control, because people will test your patience out here, and you're gonna have to be calm and handle it in a calm manner. So this is the part where I say, when somebody pisses you off, respond instead of reacting. Reacting looks like you having an outburst, doing what those women in the Real Housewives of whatever do. They bang tables, they throw wine at somebody, they slap the other person. No. Responding is speaking of your emotions and not with your emotions. Have a gentle and quiet spirit, and I've shared with you this verse so that you can meditate on it and the Lord can even reveal more to you as an individual. The second thing is looking appealing. I mean, we are humans, we are drawn to things that look good. This is not just for men, but even us as women, we're drawn to things that look good when we are creating, when we are arranging our room, when we're picking something, we're drawn to something that looks appealing. So I'd say this has to do with dressing for your shape, for your body shape. We all have different body shapes, so we can't dress the same. For example, it wouldn't make sense for Kim to wear a shift dress, but she will look good in bodycon, which she does wear a lot. Kim Kardashian, that's what I meant, because she's an hourglass. So dress for your shape and then dress for your skin tone. There's some colors that do not work with everyone. I saw the other day a really dark lady. She was really dark and she wore a bright yellow and she looked so funny. What will have looked good on her is mustard. Oh, she will have looked amazing. What she wore instead made her look like a clown. Also, dressing even for your personality type. For example, if you're somebody who prefers to wear more colors because you're such a happy person, you can dress for that. And or maybe you're somebody who likes to be seen as classy and refined, dress for that as well. So also your personality has a way of going with this, with the colors, the style, the shape, the silhouette of the clothes, the accessories that you choose to dress in. For example, you will never find me in combat boots. It is not my style, but it looks good on other women, but just not on me because it's not my style. The next point is speak less and listen more, and this is found in the book of James. I just can't remember the exact verse, but it's in the book of James, and James is 4 chapters, so it's gonna be easy to find. And if you ever read the book of James, you will not get out the same, because James is telling you things candidly, straightforwardly. He is not playing around with his words. Anyway, I digress. So what this does to the human brain and psychology, again, is being magnetic, by the way, has so much to do with the psychology and what it does, because we don't really understand how we're drawn to somebody. We just are. It's something psychological, and so it has a lot to do with psychology, seduction, and somebody in marketing will tell you this. It's a lot of playing with that, playing with colors, playing with fonts, playing with words. And so in humans, we don't really have fonts or whatever, but we have other things, and one of the things we have is speaking less and listening more. Our words are very important. And so what this does, it brings an air of mystery. Somebody's intrigued, they want to know you. So when I was starting my femininity journey, one of the first videos I ever watched, this lady said was know when to speak, how to speak, and who to speak to. And so there's some conversations you cannot have on the dinner table, like talking about using the washrooms on the dinner table. It's that's something that's there, but also just knowing what to speak about. What it does is it breeds curiosity in the other person. You're like a problem they're trying to solve, a challenge for them. And for humans, especially men, but this is not just a video on being a magnet to men, but for humans, we're drawn to that. We're drawn to what's this person hiding, what this person's saying, and also we're drawn to somebody who listens more, because as humans we love to talk about ourselves, and if somebody gives us the ear and is attentive and is listening, and they look like they're engaged, then we are drawn to them naturally. We want to talk to them, we want to be around them, and that makes us magnetic. The next point is become what you want to attract. And I'm going to use a really quick example, maybe not the best, but it serves a point. But before that, I want to say you attract what you are and not what you want. That being said, a man if you are into men like Kanye West, you'd probably have to be a girl who's into neutral tones with a big bust and a big bum, because clearly that's what he's into. If you want to attract a man like Elon Musk, you'd have to be blonde, because clearly that's what he's into. And so people have preferences, and if you're going to attract a certain job, you're going to have to do certain things. For example, I'm told that doctors can't just have tattoos in places where it could be seen, like on their neck or on their wrists. They'll have to do something else because this job that they want has some requirements. And so basically, whatever you want in life, you have to become in such a way that you create an environment to attract it. Remember, as women, our feminine energy is about receiving. And when it comes to receiving, you have to create an environment where things are drawn to you, so that things come to you. You don't chase, you attract, but things have to be drawn to you. The cat has to be drawn to you. And by cat, I mean, there's this interesting analogy that is used. If you chase the cat will run. But if you sit, the cat will come to you. So that's what I mean by the cat. The next point is availability. Do not be too available. Oh my goodness. And this is one of the 48 laws of power. Disappear for a while from any space that you're in. Let there be an air of, give people time to miss you, to need you, to see your relevance. Otherwise you become something that is, I'm missing the word, but you become something that is taken advantage of and not seen as important as much. Familiarity of some sort. And that's something we're always told. Do not be familiar. Do not be familiar. Familiarity. I've lost the English there. With God. Always be at awe with God, because when you start losing that awe of God and start being familiar with God in that sense, that familiarity thing, you will stop taking God. You'll start taking God for granted and stop taking account of the little things that God is doing in your life. And that also happens with other people. Availability, limit your spaces, limit your availability, be a hot commodity to get. Like a Birkin, a Birkin is a Birkin is top tier, worth the price because of its availability. Again, this is something marketers will tell you they do. This is something marketers will, and it works. It is very magnetic. The final thing I'll say is warmth. Be a warm person. This means be positive. This means be smiling. It's very attractive in comparison to somebody. Imagine seeing somebody who's folded their arms, or has an RBF. For those who don't know the RBF, it's the resting B-word face. So such people are very hard to approach. They look so mean and harsh. People who are just sarcastic all the time, you ask them for something and instead of being polite, they're just sarcastic all the time. That's cold. Instead, as a feminine woman, you should be warm. That means, always have an air of positivity, smiling, having an open body language. That is very, very attractive. And women, be very magnetic in those few steps that I've shared. What's one thing that draws you to a person? Let me know in the comments section. But until next time, bye.